Hello everyone, I'm Want to Mess. Welcome to a new Raid Shadow Legends video. This week I'm continuing my weekly Platinum Arena reset series, talking about what I do in offense, what I do well, the mistakes I make, what I run for defense, etc. So let's jump right into it. This week you'll see a pretty new addition to my team here. You see me using Nekrit. This past weekend was a 10 times Nekrit, and I managed to pull both Warlord and Nekrit. So pretty lucky there. Unfortunately, you see me starting off with a loss there, but that entire fight took almost 2 minutes, so we're starting at the 12.5 minute mark. I didn't really want to sit through a 2-minute fight talking about my mistakes attacking that team on offense, but basically I didn't bring in defense down or attack up, so my team just didn't have enough. My Trunda alone didn't have enough damage to kill that team. So here we've actually seen Ursuga come back into the meta a little bit this week. At least personally, I saw a fair few of them. I think she's a Trunda A2 target, so I don't know exactly how I feel about her. I think after Mac Chan's video about his like literally unkillable team, I think people gave her a shot this weekend. And I think that in the right team, I think she's solid enough to use, but I think a lot of people maybe don't have quite the gear to pull it off. So here we see we're attacking another team, or a different team with Nekrit on it, plus Duchess. However, the only threat on this team is a hegemon, which, considering my Trunda is protected by Nekrit and a shield set, I feel like if your only threat is a damage hegemon and your team doesn't stall out super well, I'm not a huge fan of that. So here we're coming in, and I make kind of a similar mistake as I was making earlier. You see, so I have Kymar, Valkyrie, Trunda, Nekrit. So I do have a strip with Kymar, but it's kind of not really enough against teams like this. So I'd made this mistake a couple times already tonight, and here I finally kind of realized, like, hey, why do I even need Nekrit versus a team like this? There's no Tormund. I don't need that block debuffs. I can bring in a Madam, bring in an actual defense down champion, because I realized that even though the Warlord had block debuffs on him, since I was stripping the enemy team with Kymar, the other 3 people, he would still A2. And so I bring in the Madam, strip them properly, get defense down, turn it around into a 20-second win. So pretty happy there. About 10.5 minutes left here now. Refreshing. Similar, this is the exact same, I believe the exact same Tau team. I don't know if it's the exact same person, because they still do this thing where they name themselves just Tau with nothing else. So we bring in the exact same team. However, this time the Duchess resists. And so unfortunately we get into a bad sort of turn order here where the Sifi revives the Warlord into Duchess doing the block debuffs, which allows him or makes him do his A3 on auto there, so we get locked out. However, I felt like I was still in a strong enough position here to try to win. However, we see the Duchess gets the revive off here, pushing almost a minute now on the fight. We don't have block debuffs. My Trunda's locked out. Probably need to back out here, or at least I should have backed out. Probably the second that Duchess got that revive off, I probably should have backed out. However, I was feeling a little bit overconfident, I think, since I finally had my Trunda back in Savage gear. I was feeling a bit overconfident with my offense and how much damage I could do. So you see here, I'm kind of still sitting in this fight. I'm locked out, just doing A1s on people, trying to slow down this Warlord, and then. Yeah, another revive goes off. My Trunda is still locked out. She doesn't die to the A1. Again, should have backed out about, yeah, I finally choose to back out. That's something I need to do a better job of. I used to be pretty good about backing out if I get locked out by Warlord. I think that where I was initially versus that team, it still was correct for me to try to squeeze out that win. But yeah, we unfortunately end up losing. So here, nuke hegemon, or excuse me, not a hegemon, but just a pretty slow team here. You see that the whole team was actually going slower than me, other than the Krisk. And I saw that when I did the Kymar A2, Krisk had reaction accessories on him by the shield that popped up. So instead of risking a reaction proc on the Duchess, since she hadn't taken a turn yet, I decided to use my Trunda's A2 on Krisk, since he's still a fairly high health target. Here we see this is just a pure stall team. Sifi, Warlord, double Duchess. Kind of an annoying team here. You see the first Duchess proc Swift Parry, which if she had just died, it would have been, what was that, a 10-second fight. Now here I believe I tried to just fear the Sifi to try to stop her from taking her turn. Unfortunately, it didn't work. And I don't remember exactly. Okay, so I still have... I get the A2 off here. They still have 3 people alive. Just put up the shields for protection, and I don't know exactly what I did with my... I must have misused my... I shouldn't have used my Kaimar reset there. I think that was a mistake. I think I should have just tried to... Instead of resetting with Kaimar to restrip with Madam, I think I should have just gone with the Trunda A3, seen how much damage I could do, and then after that, if they procced additional Swift Parry, reset with Kaimar, strip them again, and then hopefully kill them faster again. So we're pushed minute 20 already. In terms of this team just being a pure stall team, it's obviously doing a very good job. So we finally get Kaimar reset back. A minute 26, yeah, I definitely should have done better versus that team. So about 6.5 minutes left now, and we finally see this person who, this person pushed up and kind of popped up for a lot of people and immediately got farmed back down pretty quickly. Their team is... Mountain King is obviously very good and very scary if you're going to run a Trunda, but I feel like literally the weekend that there is a 10 times Nekrit was maybe not the best time to bust out the Mountain King here. It's just, with all of the protection from Nekrit, Mountain King just has a really hard time trying to kill somebody like a Trunda. So it's still a fairly effective team, right? They're running a very fast Valkyrie who almost immediately does the counterattack, which you'll see. I wouldn't say this fight went extremely well for me, but 48 seconds, I wasn't really in any danger, but those counterattacks just waste so much time, especially when my Kaimar gets resisted on his A2, because then everybody counterattacks me, burns more time, etc. So here, unfortunately, the follower's blocking it, but we're attacking another Sifi plus Warlord team. Now, this time, there's no Duchess, so I felt confident going in with the no defense down, no increased attack. So you see here, we wipe the whole team other than Swift Parry Tormund, unfortunately. Finish him off with Valkyrie, reset with Kaimar, hit him again, 19 seconds, pretty quick fight there on PC Heinze. And unfortunately, I had to dodge a lot of people who were just running like raw speed teams this week. I ended up not even using... I don't think I used my Arbiter a single time during this entire reset. So this upcoming week, I will have my Arbiter back in speed gear. Hopefully I can take on some of those teams that are just relying on speed. And once again, we're fighting this same guy here with the Mountain King. And we see again the Kaimar A2 doesn't really strip people very well. They have high enough resistance that he's not being super effective. So all of those counterattacks just keep on wasting more and more of my time. And it's actually it's a very high resistance Duchess. And I should have just... This was my first week using Nekrit, and I literally built Nekrit. Well, I had Nekrit built, but I HP tuned my team about 20 to 30 minutes before Arena Reset, and I hadn't really practiced with him at all. So, I guess that's kind of an excuse for being not being super well coordinated on my own offense, but that's why I feel like I made some of the mistakes that I did. So here we see another double Duchess team, interestingly enough. Sifi double Duchess Candrafon. So this team at least has some kind of a threat with the Candrafon, but yeah, we get lucky there with... I can almost guarantee you that was a Swift Parry Duchess. We do the ally attack with Nekrit. We finish her off, no Swift Parry proc. Pretty quick fight. Down to the last 3 minutes or so. Getting down to the wire here. I know I'm decently high rank because whenever I refresh, people are like, nobody's really like a plus 13 or 14 for me. And we find another team here that is like a force-heavy team, right? They're running Candrafon and Rector Draft to try to dissuade people with Trunda hitting them. Luckily for me, the Nekrit just makes it so I don't really have to, like before, even with Krisk, I kind of had to be worried a little bit if something went wrong fighting a force-heavy team. With Nekrit, that's not the case. And we see this team is actually 4-man Swift Parry, all 4 of them proc, and it's still 37, which, considering all 4 Swift Parries procced, I'm pretty okay with a 37-second win. So now here we see Hegemon with Lydia. I wouldn't say guaranteed to be a nuke, but a very high chance to be a nuke Hegemon. It's actually, from what the damage I'm seeing, crowd control, which is a little bit strange to me, but this person was actually running kind of like a pseudo speed team earlier with a very fast Gurgo, and so I don't really know why they changed because I feel like this team was a lot worse. 13 seconds, pretty quick fight, so down to the last 2 minutes or so. I refresh and it's literally 9 Mad members and 1 Tau, and that 1 Tau member I don't feel confident hitting, so I had to instantly refresh, go back, find another red heavy team, this time with Vogoth. So yeah, I was running pretty much the exact same team for most of this reset. The Kaimar, Madam, Trunda, Nekrit. It's just not really being able to run the Savage Trunda, not having to worry about her dying to like random force champions is just, it's really nice, and obviously Nekrit's very strong. So we do the reset double A2, clean up with the A3, 24 seconds, pretty quick. So you saw there at the top, Tau Yu-Gi-Oh! Was just running like an Arbiter into like Krisk Warlord, I think. If I had speed ready to go, I could probably hit that team and be successful. So now here we see I'm going to hit T-Swift. So in the past, T-Swift has run like kind of the same defense for a couple weeks in a row, but this time I wasn't like panicking, but obviously the last minute or so looking for somebody I think I can hit. The team didn't look dangerous to me right off the bat, so I attacked it without thinking a ton about what to bring. So it's Duchess Ursaga, Nekrit, Tormund, and it's a high resistance Duchess, so she is resisting me. So we reset. We're not able to strip the Duchess. We do the double A2, but she's really slow and she hasn't done her revive yet. So she finally revives here, almost 40 seconds into the fight. So our immunity is kind of running off now, and Tormund is still alive. So I managed to finish off Duchess. We're not really in danger of losing now, but it's just it's a stall team, and I got stalled. So it was pretty well built, and unfortunately, we're gonna see right here. I was watching the timer. I was watching my clock, and literally I get frozen right here. My Trunda gets frozen. If she hadn't have gotten frozen there, and if the turn meter boost from Kaimar hadn't frozen her, I would have finished off that Tormund and gotten the fight in before reset. Unfortunately, it gets in afterwards, so I don't gain those points. But we go here, we check. I did finish 7th this week, so pretty happy considering I was not like super happy with my overall offense. I just wasn't practiced with Nekrit. Just didn't do a good job of like sort of seeing what the defense brings, and then like actually like reacting and bringing the correct offense, right? Again, I had been streaming for almost 12 hours at this point. I was pretty tired, new Nekrit, etc. There you see I flashed my defense. That's the Warlord that I got. I dropped out the Sathalia for Warlord in there. I scroll through pretty quickly, but I put my defense in pretty early because I was getting hit a ton. So you'll see overall, I think it did okay in terms of like win-loss. And then towards the end here, you start to see some pretty big like time gaps between hits. A couple of minutes, like a minute to a couple of minutes between each hit, which is a very good sign towards the end of reset. That means that a lot of people are seeing you and saying, hey, I don't want to risk this, and not hitting you. So anyway, so I finished 7th this week. Overall, pretty happy. Hopefully come back next week with a little bit of an updated offense, get a bit more comfortable with the Nekrit over the week. Probably I need to do a better job of like recognizing like those non-Tormund teams, bring in my normal Madam, much higher accuracy, try to strip some of those Duchesses. hopefully next week we can do better. So. Okay, thank you for watching this video. Sorry it was a little bit shorter than normal. Right around that 15-minute mark where I normally start the video, I was stuck, like I said, in a really long 2-minute fight that I ended up losing. So if you guys could please like, comment, subscribe, etc., all that YouTube stuff, I'd really appreciate it. And then I will see you back again soon for another Platinum video. And hopefully soon this week, I'm planning to finally do my resistance tuning video. Hopefully see you guys soon. Peace.